I'm Chris Licata. I'm the Senior Associate Provost here at RIT, and I'm in our library, the Wallace Library. And I'm grabbing students here and interviewing them and asking them some questions about what they consider to be the important aspects of effective teaching. I think you're going to really enjoy this, so sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and let's hear from our students.
Firmness is something that students need for direction and guidance, and friendliness and being approachable is definitely something students value from a professor. So I believe a combination of the two is definitely the way to go.
If they're not passionate about what they're teaching, then they're not going to be able to convey the meaning of what they're teaching.
We kind of really, as students, get passionate and also excited about the subject matter when the professor is excited about it.
Students can really pick up on if a teacher's, really engaged in what they're learning and what they're teaching.
Approachable and willing to sit down with students and talk to them personally, to get to know them.
She also just took the time to get to know me as a person, which just made it feel even more special while I was in class, because I really felt like she cared about me and it made me want to learn more.
Willingness to help at any given time.
Availability. He was always so responsive to emails. He made sure he responded faster than I've ever had a faculty member respond. He keeps open office hours, so anytime I have a question, I know I can go in and stop. And so long as his door is open and he's there, he'll let me come in, sit down, and ask whatever I need.
He was very open to questions, and he would go down different tangents, and with math, that's not really something you see a lot.
Professor really needs to be able to understand you and listen to you and really take the time to value who you are and what you want to do and be able to provide feedback.
This person was looking at me and seeing my struggleness, and then without even me asking him for an office hour, he offered an office hour for me, willing to help me with all my struggles that I had in my first 2 semesters, and that really impacted how my view on professors at RIT.
In order to truly dedicate yourself to a field, you have to have a certain drive that stretches beyond the classroom.
A lot of students come in with little to no background knowledge in some of the intro classes or even in some of the more advanced classes, and people like me like to ask a lot of questions.
And when I've come into classes where I don't get regular feedback or I'm not able to improve myself because of that, I think that's where you see students and faculty having the most conflicts.
You as the professor are always honest with the students in how they're doing and what the material is.
So when I turn in assignments, when I look for feedback, or when I want to learn more about a project, consistency really helps me out. It helps me understand what the professors are looking for. It helps me understand who I can talk to about certain issues that I might have with what I'm doing with my coursework or what I want to do with my career.
When they are very clear about their expectations and they can relate the concepts to the real-time scenarios.
I think that's important in and outside of the classroom, both engaged with the students and also engaged with the community and with the faculty community, the student community, and the rest of the campus.
So one of my favorite professors consistently challenged me in new and different ways. They set the initial bar for what I could achieve in their course or in their class, and then as I grew and I learned with them or I learned from them and started setting my own challenges, they allowed me to push myself a little bit more.
She really pushed me to work hard, to think critically. She even inspired me to do grad school at RIT.
She walked right into the classroom and she was confident and knowledgeable and had a no-nonsense attitude, and I immediately knew that I wanted to be like her when I grew up.
Having examples, having patience in lectures and outside of class, I think is very valuable to people who really just want to learn what they've come here to learn.
If any student is like lagging behind in a particular subject, then the professor should have like one-on-one interaction with the student and try to understand like what is the exact reason why that student is lacking behind the subject.
If you are interested and invested in what you teach and you do it in a very genuine way, then students will be a lot more interested in what you're teaching.
Pay attention to how your students are feeling about the course. Like, make sure that they're engaged, make sure that they're interested in the content.
Challenge your students, push them when you feel that you're able to, because that's how we make the most growth. Make sure that you encourage questions and make students feel comfortable with coming to you.
Really have a structured plan of what you want to teach throughout the course. And so really having a plan helps us feel more organized, and when students are organized, they're going to do better in the class. Hard deadlines helped us get a lot more out of what he was teaching because we really had to focus and learn.
I think being prepared is very important, knowing what you want to do in the classroom, what goals you want to reach.
Make sure that you're always giving feedback to the students so that they can better themselves. That's why we're all here, is to learn. So making sure that they understand what they're doing wrong or doing right really does help a student grow academically.
Actually, the Ombuds office at RIT, the #1 concern that they hear each year is students not getting feedback on time from professors. So if I submit a project and don't get a grade for it for 5 or 6 weeks, that doesn't help me grow as a student either. So providing very good, timely feedback to students really helps students grow in the classroom.
You just need to be able to understand what your students want and be able to kind of match that in a way that still gets your message across that you intended for the course.
Be considerate of students and their backgrounds. RIT has a large international student population.
I think to be successful here, you need to just understand what the students need.
He'll put it in different terms for different students, and he really engages students on an individual basis rather than like in a whole class setting. So everybody kind of learns in a different way.
I would definitely recommend that faculty go out there and try to be a mentor to a student in some way, shape, or form.
I would say overall, try to remember what it was like to be an undergraduate student who might know little to nothing about the topic that they've chosen to pursue and who really just wants to learn.
Be present, and you may feel wrapped up and want to focus on bettering yourself and your career, but it's not just about that. It's also about the students and providing what you can to really help them and be there for them.
Take your time, and it's never in your benefit to rush over something.
You were selected as faculty for a reason. RIT chose you. The students here are a very eclectic bunch. We're a bunch of fun people to kind of hang around, so just be excited about what you're teaching and be open to new things. Students are very receptive to a professor who's willing to have a conversation with them and be a real person, as opposed to someone who's just a figurehead who gives them a grade at the end of the semester.